Hi everyone, John here. Welcome along to another video lesson. Now, today we're going to be having a look at soloing over the changes, and before we get to what we're going to do, I'm just going to do a little bit of playing for you so you can hear what soloing over the chord changes sounds like. So the first time round I'm going to solo with the pentatonic scale, second time round I'm going to follow the changes, and the third time round is my kind of favourite thing to do, which is mix the two together. Alright, so let's have a listen and then we'll come back and we'll talk about what we're going to learn. So I hope you could hear there the difference between the pentatonic scale and following the changes. In my mind, you know, following the changes is kind of more jazzy, and I like those chromatic things. And for me, my favourite thing to do is if you can mix the two together, pentatonic and following the changes, it sounds really, really good. So now this is going to be a 4-part video lesson, and we're going to have a look at blues in B flat, a kind of a jazz blues. So there's a few changes going on here, but what you want to do when you learn to follow changes is just do one chord to the next one. All right, and so we're going to work on 4 bars at a time, and we're going to put it all together at the end. All right, so the first thing I should tell you is I'm using a really old guitar here. This guitar is quite useless. It's $50. It's really dirty. I play this for about 8 hours a day, you know, when I teach, and I've stuck some dots here because it doesn't have dots on them. I realized when I was doing this video this is going to be very difficult for you to see if there's no dots, so I've stuck some you know, paper dots. I've done a Fender custom shop job here, but this just goes to show you don't need expensive guitars to do this. You just need your noodle, you know, up here. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you 2 arpeggios for this first lesson. One is going to be the B flat arpeggio, B flat 7 arpeggio, and then the E flat 7 arpeggio. And these are going to come up on the screen here, so let me play through them. Here is the B flat one. All right, and here's the E flat one. All right, so make sure you learn both of those, because we're going to be using those. No pentatonics here. All right, now when you're playing the changes, what you want to do is go from one chord to the next chord in the smoothest possible way. So you don't want to do this, for example. See if you can hear what I'm doing. Now, I was following the changes there. I was playing B flat for 1 bar, E flat for 1 bar, B flat for 2 bars. So, but could you hear it? It's very... It's very jerky. So we want a nice smooth movement. Maybe something like this. So what I was doing there is I was using those arpeggio shapes, and I was trying to go from one chord to the next very smoothly. And the best way I think you can do that is play each of the arpeggio, so B flat into E flat, on one string at a time and get to know it really, really well. All right, so let's go to B flat. So our job is this. We want to go from B flat to E flat very smoothly, but you want to know each string very, very well. All right. So let's play this B flat, and I'm going to start at the top. So here's the arpeggio. Okay, so on the last string here, we've got 6 to 10, don't we? Okay, now, if we wanted to go to E flat, we've got to work out, in either of these two notes, where is the closest note to get to? So let's play that again. There's the two notes in B flat. Where are the two notes in E flat? Remember that 6 to 10. Ah, 6 to 9. So, if you're in B flat and you want to change to E flat on this string, and you're landing on this note here, that 6 to 9 is going to be the E flat. So here's B flat, E flat. So not much movement there. Can you see that sounds very smooth? Very good. Okay, so let's do the next string. Let's have a look at B flat. Okay, so it's 6 to 9 this time. Now, where would the E flat be? Where's the closest note to either of these two notes? So let's play E flat. Ah, it's this one here, the 8th fret. So here's B flat. Here's E flat. So it's just one note back again. So imagine we're playing B flat to E flat, all right? And that was a nice change. So you are playing the changes there, even though it's a very simple thing. It's not really too hard, this. Okay, that's good. So we've got this so far. B flat, E flat, B flat, E flat. Okay, let's see the next one, B flat. So here is the note for B flat. What about E flat? Let's play that. So remember that, 7th fret. Ah, now we've got two notes. You could go up or you could go down. So here's B flat, E flat, or B flat. So you can choose what you'd want to do there. So say if I was playing a line, let's think in B flat. So could you see there when I played B flat, I finished on that note, then I went up the arpeggio from there. Or you could go down, couldn't you? You could go to that one. So I went down there, and that was the other arpeggio note done. Good, that's the G string done. So let's try the D string. So here's B flat. Okay, 8th fret there. So this one, really that note there is probably the nearest one. So here's B flat to E flat, all right. That would be the next closest note. Sometimes you can fill in the gaps here. So I went chromatically there from the B flat into the E flat, but that would be the closest note on that string. All right, let's see the next one. Okay, there's B flat. Where's E? It's just there, so B flat. Let's do the last one. Last one is the B flat. And that's also the same note. This is a common tone, the B flat, to both chords. It's the root of B flat. And in this it's the 5th. E flat. B flat is the 5th, all right, okay. So, there we go. So on this string, on the E string, we've got E flat, so B, on this string, B flat, E flat. On this string, and you could go up or there to E flat. All right, on this string we have, and on this string we have, and on the last string we have just the same note. All right, now we're kind of doing this by shapes at the moment, which helps a lot, but if you can think of the notes, that really does help in the long term. You know, I've done a video on the notes, you can watch that. So why are we learning this? Well, the whole point is that if you find yourself, if you're improvising, say you're in B flat, and you finish on that note, you want to know what's the closest note I can get to in the next chord, E flat. So, okay, and likewise, if you're improvising and you finish on that note on B flat, you want to know that the next available closest note to you is either or back or forwards. So, and then you're going into the arpeggio, and you can choose whether you go up or down. All right, so for this lesson, let's have a look at the changes. So we've got B flat, E flat, okay, so let's say we're improvising, and I'm just going to play eighth notes, and we start on this note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's it for the first bar. Now we need to go from this B flat to the next note, which is that one there. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and did you see what I did there? I'm just playing the arpeggio, just an exercise. So I went up, B flat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and E flat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then I did a little chromatic thing, and that's the 5th fret going into the B flat. 1, 2, 3. Now, I've finished my B flat arpeggio on here. I need to go to E flat again, so I'm going to go back 1. So, see, and let me do that one more time from the top, so it makes sense to do it slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And that's it for the first 4 bars. All right, so just before we finish, make sure you learn those 2 arpeggios. You've got to know them really well, all right, back and forwards. And then just make sure you can go from B flat to E flat very smoothly on each string. All right, now once you've done that, make a little backing track. You can go as slow as you like, and what I'd recommend you do is don't do the whole arpeggio. You can obviously start with that if you want to, but try and go from one chord to the next on one string really smoothly, and then it's a lot easier when you start improvising. When you start improvising, you won't get lost because you'll know each string very well. So take your time with that. That's video lesson number 1. So chords, B flat, E flat, B flat, B flat. Practice that and let me know how you get on, and I'll see you in the next video.